In Africa, people who plan to travel abroad tend to keep their plans very secret, even from their loved ones, let alone their friends. I recalled one of my relatives who was planning to travel. He didn't tell the parents until 2 days for him to travel to Lagos and then fly to the Western country. I was so worried. I said, you need to tell your mom, you need to tell your dad. He said he doesn't want people to start panicking because this young man, because this particular young man, honestly, he suffered planning to travel abroad. It was a long journey for him for many years. I think I could understand his reasons why he was just keeping a secret until the 11th hour. So this is very much common with people in my country. Your friend might be planning to travel, they wouldn't let you know for the reasons, best known to each person. Yes, and there is this general notion that abroad, traveling to the Western country is like going to heaven, maybe the fourth heaven. Because it cannot be the first or the second, neither the third, like we always pray in our prayers, the third heaven, God in third heaven. Oh, so we actually believe that abroad is a heaven, possibly. Those years I used to think that Jerusalem, is in heaven. Yeah, you never can tell that all the biblical names that they existed or they are in existence here on earth. Yes, so this is how most of us think or must have thought in the past that the Western country is a place that is so unique out of this world, and we believe that everything flourishes in this very Western world, money, food, cars, anything you can think of, no stress, life is so easy, life is so fun, especially when you see people in abroad, they wear those thick jackets, high boots, they pose in the snow. Oh my God, especially during Christmas winter weather, it makes it seem as if those in the Western country are actually in heaven. Now tell me, what would make a man who got a visa to travel abroad a young man? This is why I kept saying that most people in my country, Africa, they don't grow. They don't let us grow, have our own ways. We don't really think as adults we are. Most people do not realize when they get to adulthood in Nigeria, in Africa, until it is late. They begin to cry, had I known. I should have done this at age 25. I should have done this at age 30. I should have. This is actually the way we were brought up in Africa. Sorry about that. Most of us, not children of these days, parents of this generation, they have opened their eyes. They have learned to do things the right way. Have their children in school on time. Brush them up before 22, 23. They're out of school. They are talking about getting married, getting a job, and moving on with their lives. This is how the modern parents of these days are. But a 26-year-old in this present time, someone born in the year 1998, 1999, should be around 26 years old currently. That's towards 2000. The person should have known better, isn't it? The person must have been an adult. If you're born in 1990, you are roughly 35 years, 34 years old now. Talk more of someone born in 1998. So guys, a young man got a visa to travel abroad. He traveled all the way from the city where he was staying to his village to break the news to his dad that he got a visa to travel abroad. His 67-year-old dad took him to a 48-year-old native doctor for fortification. You must have learned about this story on social media. Many of you in abroad, please, I want you to leave in the comment section. How did you fortify yourself to come to Obodo Oyibo? Besides, why are you fortifying yourself to come to abroad, where you believe, or we believe, that abroad is the fourth heaven, is the heaven on earth? What is the need of the fortification? They took this boy to the place One of the rituals was that the native doctor had to bury this 26-year-old young man in a grave, and he's meant to spend 1 hour, 30 minutes inside that grave. Unfortunately, the boy did not wake up. He did not rise again from the grave. The visa to go to Obodo died in the grave. Pie in the grave. The boy also died in the grave. Police arrested the 67-year-old father of this guy and the native doctor. The native doctor claimed that the boy did not follow the rituals requirements properly. What ritual, the requirement did he not follow properly inside the grave? He went into the grave as instructed. How could he have claimed that he did not follow the requirement properly? But then a 26-year-old man, not a boy. In my country, they would call you a boy. Even a 30-year-old, they would say a 30-year-old boy. Even the medias, they make mistake of using boys in reference of somebody who is above 18 years old in my country. That is terrible. This is why most of us in our country, we don't grow up. Like we don't even know when we are supposed to start working. We don't even know when we are supposed to start looking for a wife or to settle down or even get married. We forget ourselves. We don't talk about relationship is an abomination in my country. You can't simply bring a man home to say, Dad, Mom, meet my boyfriend. In my country, in most families in my country, you don't talk about boyfriend, you don't talk about girlfriends. Sometimes we hide to do things like that. We are not proud. But yet, you see our parents in Africa, in Nigeria, by the time their daughters are clocking 30 and above, they will begin to pray in their personal, private prayers for their daughters to get married. I don't know where they want them to bring the man. Whereas, in their 20s, early 20s, when they are supposed to be in a relationship, find somebody, introduce their man friend, the boyfriend home. You don't talk about such things. Who are you to bring a man to your father and say, meet my boyfriend, when you've not even finished university? Some people are lucky. I don't know the kind of parents. Some people married while we were in university back home. It depends on their kind of family or their kind of... But now they are lucky. Honestly, it was better for them because a lot of them now have their children in secondary school, finishing high school already. A lot of them have their children going to the university already. You know, because they took that decision on time. They married, they have their home, they are growing, their children are growing alongside themselves. But most of us whose parents are night and afternoon, Conco Anglican or Conco Catholic, you don't talk about relationship in our homes. It makes people not to grow. It makes children in the family not to know when they leave teenage age to adulthood. They keep growing. 26-year-old, all the way from town to tell the father that, look at, I've got my visa to travel abroad. The dad suggested to go to the native doctor, and the 26-year-old man did not say, no, daddy, fortification is not something that will keep me alive abroad. No, I cannot do that. Look at him, guy. What would this man talk about? But even if he has 10 children, he will never forget this incident by the time he is out from the station. 67-year-old. Even for this country, if he give him 100, as in he might spend the rest of his years in prison. Yes. 67. What is left for him? He will keep, and your son is no longer there. Please, we that are the modern parents, modern young people who are still single, let's start thinking on time. Let's start taking decisions on time. Let's show our children the way to go. Guide them, support them, let them know that they are grown. It is their decision. Guide them. This is wrong, this is right, but it is up to you to decide. This is what you're supposed to be doing. Sometimes my son, He's only 9, but sometimes he comes to talk to me, mommy, when I go to college. Because when you see children coming back from high school, college, he will say, this one is in college, this one is in high school. Mommy, when will I get to college? You know, when am I going to start driving? He said, mommy, I will help you with grocery shopping. I'm going to do this, buy you this when I start working. He's already thinking about that. In the Western country, from 16, once you are in the college, they are working. And it gives me joy to see 16-year-olds working in this very country. The assignment 16 and 17, I've mentioned that in my video here. They go, they do their short hours, 4 hours, 6 hours. Sometimes they work 2 times in a week. 6 hours. I think it's 12 hours in total. I might have to check. And they have their minimum wage. You know, this is not like punishment. It's a way to let them know that you need to work to make money. And it's a way to introduce them to how to save money, how to make money, how to manage money. Because the money they earn, they know that they have to save some part of it, use some part of it. Even though they are still living with their parents, they don't pay bills. Some of them who are already citizens, they get benefits and blah, blah, blah. But that notwithstanding, you make your money. When you earn your salary, what do you do with it? With guidance of their parents, who can as well put them through. Oyibo parents, I've talked to a lot of them, my co-workers, they are excited to see their children working at the age of 16, at the age of 17. I was on my way to work. Last week, I was sitting on the bus. Teenagers, about 4 of them behind me, they were talking about one of them who recently got a job. The other one was like, where did he get the job? They said Tesco. The other person was like, oh my goodness, that's a big one. That's a big one. You know, you can imagine the excitement among the children, you know, hailing their friend that found a job, college kids, you know. So they are really, really thrilled to get into the society and start doing something at 16. This is why they already grown up at the age of 18. They are what? Adults. This morning on my street, there was an accident. I might put the photo here, the video here for you to see. Just there at my bus stop, to God be the glory, that was where me and Somto Chukwu, my son, walked past this morning because we walked to school. They called me for work. I said, I'm not going because I wanted to be here. So, to God be the glory, when I was coming back, I saw this accident. 4 police vehicles, 1 ambulance. Guess who was involved? A 17-year-old boy. 17-year-old boy. He ran into the fence. He collided into the fence. At the age of 17, you have the official right to go through your driving lessons in this country, get your license, and start driving. It's from 17. Touch your papa motor at age 17. Age 17, sir, are you even thinking of driving in our home country? Not be me day here. I don't they drive. I'm still going through the processes, though I drove in my country, Nigeria, you know. But then I don't reach how many years before I drive in Nigeria. So please, let's just give our children some free hands. Allow them to grow when they are supposed to have grown. Allow them be adults as other children, you know. 10-year-old the other day was riding a bicycle from my son's school to the city center. 10 years plus, bike. He drove. When I saw the boy, I said, Jesus, is this not Denzel? Permit me to mention her name, Susan's son. He drove past me and some to 10 years plus. Busy traffic. I was waiting for a bus to go to the same place he was going. That was the same place I volunteer for my charity work. The mom is in charge, Susan. I waited for a bus. I got there. I saw Denzel. You know, when he rode his bicycle past me, I was like, how is he going to maneuver all this traffic, the busy roundabout? I was just thinking, which way would he go? Blah, blah, blah. In my mind, as an African mom, I said, oh, Denzel, riding a bicycle. A place that it will take him about 10 minutes on a bike to get to the location. I saw him there. In fact, I held the parents, the mom and dad. I said, yes, that he's been training for it. At the end of our volunteer section, the parents, they went home in the car. They were talking about Denzel. The man wanted to give. He said, no, that he's going to ride his bicycle to their house. Imagine. So please, we should let them grow, have their choices, talk with them and hear what they have to say. Engage them in discussion. Hear from them. Anyway, guys, this is it for this content. It's sad and it's a pity that young man pied for nothing's sake, for the sake of ignorance from the dad and from himself, who should have resisted and said, no, dad, this is not right. Yes, you don't need this. You don't need any fortification to live abroad. No way. It is well. Bye for now.